Hey guys, this is DFD, aka Dark Frozen Depths, back with another Kamihime project video. Now, this one is a repeat advent. I'm going over it again because of the fact that, I believe they didn't have Ragnarok Plus the first time around, so this isn't going to be as long as the other ones, so I'm just going to quickly go over stuff. I will point out you may want to get both SSR characters that just released. That is a Dark version of Set and the Wind version of Boer. Both are very, very good. And if I can remember correctly, Dark Set's weapon is actually pretty strong too, so that's something to really go after. So you're going to want both of them. They're very good. And then on top of that, if I remember correctly, Set's weapon is strong. It's a very strong one. So if you are trying to go after, because remember that they're permanent, so if you miss out, there's still a chance to get them later. But if you are going to go after anybody in the gacha, both of them are worth it. So Set would be worth it more, but both of them are worth it. But especially since Set can help you with this event too. But the event is light element. Dark has the advantage. Use your best team, period, point blank, though. And since it's an advent event, you're on your own, so no help for this one. But the usual stuff applies. Get the SSR stuff, basically, especially the weapon, because the hammer is actually pretty good for free to play. So you probably want that hammer. But the hammer is pretty good for free to play. The Adoan, I remember, was pretty good. You probably want to get the gacha tickets, the 1/10 SSR tickets, and it's the same basic stuff. Just get a lot of the stuff on here, except for like the SR weapons, unless you're trying to use them as fodder. You don't need to refill items regardless. Half elixirs are very easy to come by and stuff like that. And you don't need the reinforcement materials too, because I don't know if anybody has noticed. You probably might have, because it's still for some reason untranslated. But the experience caves do have ultimate versions, and that gives you even more drop materials for enhancing your stuff. So you don't need to trade for enhancement materials ever. Just go to the caves and you'll get a lot of them at once. But anyways, same typical stuff. I'll go over what the weapon and add-ons are. Main reason I'm going over this is for the Ragnarok Plus. You need to be at rank 100 to access it, so this is the point where we start getting rank gated for a lot of different stuff, so make sure you're pretty high rank. If you're going to try and go after all the really important stuff, you should be rank 100 just about. But later content's going to force you to be up to rank 140, so that's something to know. But don't worry if you're not that high rank, because just spending AP and doing stuff will step and rank you up at this point. I forgot to mention that. You gain rank points based on the AP you spend. I think it's at a rate of 10 RP to 1 AP. So, remember that. So there is no best grinding spot anymore. Just burn as much AP as you can. If you really want a true best grinding spot, the faster you kill stuff, the faster you burn your AP, and the faster you rank up. So, speaking of killing stuff. Now, ultimate difficulty, because that's the starting point where you should really be trying to grind. The boss has 1.5 million HP. It says illusion is added to a single enemy. What that really is, I do believe, is blind. So there's that. And then she can reduce the damage she takes from 10 different hits. So what registers as a hit is kind of weird in this game. I'm pretty sure you may have seen that if you actually did a heroic or attempted it. But because there's a heroic we just recently had access to, that raid event, and there's a lot of different things that count as different hits, but it's just how it is. But she's attacked 10 times, and that's when they'll get erased. But otherwise, you can't remove it. So, keep that in mind. So if you're going to try and avoid that, make sure to kill her the minute she goes into raging. Now, she's got a chance of putting it says illusion, I'm guessing that's blind. But she's got a chance of debuffing you with that whenever she does normal attacks, so keep that in mind as well. And it's 4 turns that it will last. Other than that, she's pretty basic. I mean, you get random hits for normal nuke, and then raging is AoE. Nothing too crazy with that. It's really just a damage cut. She really likes to protect herself. And that's the main gimmick with the whole thing. So 1.5 million HP in Ultimate, double that in Ragnarok, and 12 million in Ragnarok Plus. Where I have to go over Ragnarok Plus, though, is the other enemies, because I'm not going to really go over their HP amounts. They're all like between 2 to 3 million. But these guys are kind of like, I would say, harder versions of accessory quest enemies. And they all have triggers that can actually get in the way if you give them the chance to attack. So try to kill them as quickly as possible. One will stack attack up on itself, and it ups its avoidance rate, meaning that it's getting evasion. One puts blind on you, one puts confused, and it also puts confused on you too. One puts attack down, one increases all your ability cooldowns. Don't give them the chance to do crap, or it can start getting a little bit worse. Excuse me. But the main thing about it is the whole protection that the boss does, because of the fact that if she gets that off, the only way to get past it is to either kill her or just hit her 10 times, basically. So that's the main gimmick. And I don't know if her defense was higher than normal, but either way, it's still a case of just like, when she hits raging, that's when you want to try and kill her if you don't want to deal with that. Otherwise, you will have to deal with it. Now, as for the materials and all that type of stuff, you can trade old materials in order to get the trade item for this event, so remember that. I've already done so in-game, in my case. But, here's where she's actually good. She can put Dizzy on all enemies, but she gives special attack based on the HP that's increasing. Now, for free-to-play, this actually could be good because it's giving you access to another damage multiplier, and one that's not commonly found. So that's something to remember. So what that means is you would have access to Assault. You should have access to Vigor if you're getting weapons from the Guardian raids, because Hagif does carry a Vigor weapon. You can also get a Stinger one from her too. You got Elemental Attack. This Adolin will sit up and give you Special Attack on top of that. That is 5 multipliers. So yeah, free to play can actually abuse quite a lot of this in order to get some pretty noticeable damage. So you're going to want to do that. Now then, as for the hammer, here's the reason why I say you probably would want to get it. Only one, because you can get the rest of it from ultimate raids if you're really trying to hold on to hammers. Equipping your soul with a hammer will give damage cut when they burst. So that's something to know. And this weapon does indeed final break, so don't be deceived by what you see on screen. It does indeed final break. That said, you're going to want to have it for your soul if you're going to use this hammer, and that's why I say it's good, because there's quite a lot of good use for Hector if you happen to unlock her, and this can give her a little bit of protection too when she bursts. So that's something to know. The gun honestly isn't too bad either, because it's carrying Vigor, and I just mentioned that about the whole Heryshaf thing too, so this is early game Vigor for people as well. So if you aren't accessing the Guardian raid, you may want this gun, at least for the time being. It will give you some Vigor that you can use, and you can get a little bit more multiplier abuse, because believe me when I say this, multiplier and abuse in this game is pretty absurd. I've seen so much stuff when people pulling off so many incredible feats with multiplier abuse. I've even done it myself in a video. So, yeah. But multipliers really can help you out. The more multipliers you have access to, and the more you have in each of them, it really starts spiking your damage, even to points where soft caps are not that much of an issue, guys. Seriously. Like, I've seen 70 million normal attack rounds from some whales. I've seen 160 million full bursts. They're going so far past the soft cap that it doesn't even matter. So, Yeah, it's like a high-level whale, spend a lot of money on a game-type grids, but it still proves my point. Multiplier abuse is absurd. And everybody has access to multiplier abuse. You may not be getting insane results like they're getting, but you can still get some results. So experiment with different multipliers. You have access to essentially 3 of them just in this one event alone. So go for it. Like, try it out, see if it works for you. If it doesn't, there's still better stuff that you can grind out anyways. But the other thing is the missions, of course, standard stuff. Clear with certain rarities of characters. This is where even free players will at least have a reasonable shot at it, because everybody needs our Kamihime to clear Ragnarok alone. So there's that. And also for expert difficulty and event raids too. But everybody needs to use our Kamihime for certain type of event missions. It's in every advent, it's in every raid event. Do it. You get you extra stuff, it gets you a Dragonic Eye Shard. There you go. But anyways, that's all for this. Of course, I'm not going to do a video of this event because it's just going to get blown to high heaven off of me. I can basically have Medea just solo the whole thing, even Ragnarok Plus if I really tried. So that's all for this. More of this will come soon. Like, not this event, of course, but more of this will come soon, because I'm going to do like I've mentioned in the previous video, I'm going to do 2 different guide videos coming up. You'll see them within the next few days, because I'm going to go record one of them after I'm done with this. But one is going to help you out with building different teams and whatnot. It's not going to be a concrete guide because it's still based on what you have and whatnot, but it gives you some idea of what you can really do. And as far as it goes with the second video, it's something that everybody's going to want to try and look at and try and understand how these fights work, because you're going to have to grind them at some point. But it's about the Guardian Plus raids. I haven't mentioned that for so long. That's the next one I'm going to record, actually. So anyways, that's all for this. More of this will come soon, and take care.